Welcome back everyone. Quickly, let's continue our discussion on CSS overflow, and right now we'll be discussing about overflow of auto in HTML CSS. The auto value in the auto value is similar to scroll value in CSS overflow, but it adds scroll bars only when necessary. You can use the overflow property when you want to have better control of the layout. The overflow property specifies what happens if content overflows an elements box. So let me show you how all this works together now. Previously we discussed about overflow of scroll. As you can see, now we are having this kind of scroll bar. Previously in our previous tutorial, if you have been following me along easily, you can find every tutorial concerning this CSS overflow in our CSS overflow playlist to be able to follow along easily. Now let's go and use overflow of auto instead of this overflow of scroll. When I give it overflow of auto, I save my document. Let me reload my document. You are going to see what will happen. Can you see? When I reload my document, we are able to see this scroll bar, but if you notice very well, it's just at the right side. We don't have it at the bottom right here. We are just having it at the top. But if we use overflow of scroll, you are going to see the scroll at the right side, and you are going to see it at the bottom right here. But the one at the bottom right here, also there is a way we can hide it, but when we get to the advanced level, I'm going to show you how you can hide it also when we get to the future tutorial on it. So now let's use overflow of auto. Now when we reload our document, can you see we are able to see these contents, and also the rest of the content. If we want to see it, we are able to see this scroll bar is available for us to scroll through our document, so that we can be able to see the rest of the content. So that's the benefit of using the overflow of auto. So by default, don't you forget, by default it's having visible overflow of visible. When we specify overflow of visible, when we reload our document, can you see your content? If your content is too larger than the box you are specifying, you are putting it inside, definitely it's going to expand to the outside of the element. Okay, but just because we don't want this kind of thing to happen, we want all the content to be inside, to stay inside this box, inside this blue box, no matter what. That's when the overflow property is very useful for us. That's when we are able to use this overflow of auto. When we use the overflow of auto, when we use it, can you see when we press reload, we are able to see this scroll bar, so that we'll be able to scroll through this, and everything, all the content, they are all inside this div element. They don't pass the div element. Can you see? When I scroll now, can you see we are just able to use this scroll bar from the div element itself. So that's the benefit of using the overflow of auto. And when we use overflow of scroll, previously when we use the overflow of scroll, if you notice very well, when you use overflow of scroll, when I reload, we are able to see this scroll bar. And also when we as you can see from at the bottom right here, also we are still able to see another another scroll bar. So but this one is not having anything, we are not able to scroll it, but it's still active. So just because we don't want that kind of thing to happen, we don't want to have that scroll bar at the bottom, that's why we now use this overflow of auto. When we use overflow of auto and reload our document, can you see we are not able to see the scroll bar at the bottom right here again. So it's very useful when you are doing that in your document. And also let me show you something right here. The content we are controlling is all this is inside this blue box, which is the class name that is having this blue box, the div element that is having the class name of blue box. And these are the text. This is the text. Can you see the long text we are keeping here? So it's beyond the width and height of the box, so that's why you are seeing it overflowing the div element. So the div element, we gave it this 150 width and 150 height. So the height and the width we specify is smaller than the height and the width of this that this thing can occupy. So that's why it overflow the content, it overflow the document. Now by now specifying the overflow of auto or overflow of scroll, we are able to see the scroll bar, and we are able to see the rest of the content easily. But if by default we gave it overflow of visible, because by default, even let's say for instance we remove this, we remove it out of here, let me remove it. by default is going to have overflow of visible. Can you see? We are able to see all the content outside like this because it's overflow the div box. But if we specify this overflow of visible, same thing also. When we reload, the same thing also. Can you see? We are still able to see the content. But when you use overflow of scroll or overflow of auto, when we use overflow of auto, because we are here talking about the overflow of auto, when I reload now we are, the content is not going outside of the box again, and we are able to see this scroll bar here, so that we can be able to scroll through our document. We can be able to read the whole content inside the div element. So that is the benefit of using the overflow property. It's very useful when you use it. And don't forget, in our previous tutorial we said that if you use overflow of hidden, all the rest, the remaining content right here at the bottom right here will hide automatically, and we won't be able to have this scroll bar. When I reload now, can you see? Can you see? We are not able to see the scroll bar. Can you see? We are just able to see this from this top to this level. The remaining content, we are not able to see them. So, and definitely the overflow of hidden is not useful in this manner. That's what it's not useful in that case. Definitely that's why we use this overflow of auto or overflow of scroll. Can you see? Overflow of auto or overflow of scroll is very useful in that way. So, and what akorede ayofe is my name once again. I wish to see you guys next time to the next tutorial. Peace and love. Have a great day. Thank you so much. Bye bye.